Hello everyone, welcome to Daily PRELIMS Current Affairs. Today, that is 19th, you are having basically 6 major topics. First is about border road organization. Second is about the Swatantrata Sainik Samman Yojana. Third is about institutions of eminence. And fourth is about technology acquisition and development fund scheme. And the fifth is about graded response action plan. Sixth is about urban heat island program, urban heat island effect. So we have to discuss this. Let's move on with the first one, that is border road organization. Why it is in news? It is because recently BRO has conducted its annual conference in its GRE campus in Pune. So here, as far as the prelims is concerned, you need to focus what exactly this BRO is. BRO, as you all know, is actually mandated with building roads in and around the border areas. This is the main mandate of BRO. It is nation's most reputed, multifaceted and most modern construction organization, and it is actually it comes under Ministry of Defense. So the role it has to play, it has 3 major roles. First is about developing and maintaining roads in and around the border areas. Second is towards contributing to the socio-economic development of the border states. These 2 programs has to be undertaken during peacetime. And the last one, that is to develop and maintain roads to the LOCs, is a mandate that has to be conducted, that has to be fulfilled during war. So it basically consists of border road organizations, that is border road organization consists of border road wings as well as General Reserve Engineer Force. And lastly, the financial control of this organization is being conducted or is being exercised by Border Road Development Board, which is chaired by Raksha Mantri or our Defense Minister. Now please keep this in mind, that is the mandate or the area where they have to focus or they work is not within this country alone. They actually have undertaken several jobs or several construction works outside the country also. That is in Afghanistan, in Tajikistan, in Sri Lanka, in Myanmar, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, in Nepal, etc. These areas they have also undertaken several jobs. So as far as your prelims is concerned, please understand that this comes under Ministry of Defense. Now the next is about Swatantrata Sainik Samman Yojana. Why it is in news? It is because recently the Minister of Home Affairs have actually reviewed the functioning of Freedom Fighters and Rehabilitation Division, that is under Ministry of Home Affairs. So this Yojana is very important as far as your prelims is concerned. Why? Because in 2017 this Yojana was actually renamed. Earlier this Yojana was named as Swatantrata Sainik Samman Pension Scheme, that is towards providing pension scheme for freedom fighters and their dependents. It was initiated in 1980. So the eligibles those who were eligible were actually freedom fighters, their spouses, that is widows or widowers, and also unmarried daughters as well as the parents of these of the deceased freedom fighter. And in February 2017, it was actually renamed, saying that this pension Yojana is not what this Yojana, this scheme has to be named as. It should be named as Swatantrata Sainik Samman Yojana, saying that this scheme is towards honoring the these great freedom fighters. So that is the reason why it has been renamed. And as far as the prelims is concerned, this is a potential area. So focus it. Details have been given in the material. Please go through it. Next is about institutions of eminence. Why it is in news? It is because Minister of Human Resources has actually recently answered a question relating to institution of eminence. So as far as the prelims is concerned, you need to focus what exactly this scheme is all about. So this scheme is actually aiming towards providing a special regulatory architecture to a selected few higher education institutions towards becoming world-class teaching and research institutions. So the advantages which they have, or the advantages which they will be having once they qualify for this institution of eminence, is that they will be able to admit a larger amount of foreign students and also recruit larger amount of foreign faculties. Along with that, they will be able to fix the fees for themselves for the foreign students. And more importantly, they will be able to go ahead with academic collaborations with the world-class institutions that come, world-class top institutions, which comes within the top 500. So, and that too without the permission of UGC. So under the scheme, 20 institutions is to be selected, of which 10 comes from private institutions and the remaining 10 is from public sector. Now moving on with the next one, this is technology acquisition as well technology acquisition and development fund. What exactly this scheme is? The reason why this scheme is in news, it is because the Minister for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise has actually answered a question relating to this scheme in Lok Sabha. So the scheme is to facilitate the acquisition of clean, green and also energy efficient technologies by MSMEs. So this is being implemented by Global Innovation and Technology Alliance, GITA, that was formed in 2007-8. So it is a joint venture company, and it was formed in order to channelize more private institutions, more private investments into research and development. So the manner in which they actually foster this scheme is through direct as well as indirect supports, subsidies, and also incentive schemes. So earlier, when it was brought forward, it was under DIPP, that was under Ministry of Commerce, but recently it has been changed to Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise. The details have been given in the material. Please go through it. Now the second last one is about the Graded Response Action Plan. Why it is in news? It is because the central government has written or submitted its plan of GRAP, that is action plan GRAP, to the NGT on suggesting manner in which it would be curbing the pollution that is existing in and around the Delhi area. So what exactly this scheme is all about, or what exactly this action plan is all about? It contains actions that is targeted towards controlling the particulate matter emissions, that is especially the PM10 as well as PM2.5 sizes, from going beyond moderate in AQI, that is air quality index. Now the air quality index in details have been taken in the previous videos. Please refer that. And also GRAP is actually an initiative in which it is a cumulative initiative, that is in case of emergency as well as severe levels, all the measures that has been listed below in the below levels will be actually implemented together in that particular level. And also the actions listed in the poor to moderate has to be implemented throughout the year, while that of the emergency has to be implemented then and there itself immediately. So details about the GRAP has been given in the material. Please go through it. So moving on with the last one, that is urban heat island effect. What exactly this, why it is in news? It is because the recent IIT studies has proved that urban areas, that is especially located in the western as well as central parts of the country, has become much more cooler when you compare with that of the surrounding non-urban areas in summer season. So the details have been given in the material. Please go through it. But as far as your prelims is concerned, you need to understand what exactly this urban heat island effect is all about. It actually refers to a rise in the temperature in the urban areas when you compare with that of the surrounding non-urban areas. So the factors aiding it is basically the concrete buildings that are being built up, the destruction of vegetations, and also the use of more and more cooling effects, cooling equipments. So the factors that can be helping in or aiding in reducing this urban heat island effect is sustainable building materials, and also passive cooling measures such as increased tree covers, and also increased ventilations in the building, and also use of aerosols, especially in the winter, in the night times. Now its impact is very important as far as your mains is concerned. The impact of urban heat island is that it results in increased energy demands, increased greenhouse gas emissions, and also increased health issues. So these are the three major issues which are caused due to the impact of this urban heat island effect. Now more details have been given in the material. Please go through it. That's all from today's current affairs. Thank you.